Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas is the scene of a great matchup between Sporting KC2 and MNUFC 2. It's a game that promises aggression, attacking play, and hopefully lots of goals and entertainment. It's match week 7 of MLS Next Pro, and it is live. I'm Donnie Barnes. It's been a partly cloudy day in northeast Kansas. Very breezy, gusts up to 35 miles per hour as SKC2 look to continue their strong start to this season, and MNUFC 2 seek to keep their good vibes going after a thrilling 4-3 victory in Portland last week that was their first win of the year. It's been a stop-start beginning to this season for Minnesota United. They've only played 3 league matches. That's the fewest in the league. SKC have played 6, and they've won 3 and only lost 2 with 1 draw. Let's take a look at the starting 11s for this one today. Both teams making lots of changes, and of course we start by looking at the standings in the Western Conference. And you see Sporting KC2 in 6th place with those aforementioned 3 victories, couple of defeats, and a tie, 10 points so far. And for MNUFC 2, down in 13th, but again, just the 3 matches played. Still much too early to draw any conclusions, and a good win for their first win of the year. They want to defend a bit better today, and we'll see if they can do that against SKC2 on the road. Here is the starting 11 for the home side, who make 5 changes to their lineup from last week. John Polskamp is in goal today. He's made 23 appearances for the first team. Plenty of MLS experience, but he plays for the Next Pro side today. It's a back 4 of Natty Clark, Chris Rindolph, who has appearances with the first team, just 21 years old. Ian James, just 15 years old, very bright, promising talent for them. And Chelo Tashantret making up that back 4. Sporting KC play a 4-3-3 formation throughout their system, of course. Beto Avila is the starter up top among that front 3. Cameron Habibullah leading the team in goals so far on left wing. For Minnesota United FC2, they play in a 3-5-2 today as they make 3 changes to that lineup from last week. Carlos Harvey scored the hat trick against Portland Timbers 2 last week, but he is not in the 18 today. It is a professional debut for Kai Zaroon in goal, just 17 years old. A big day and a big moment for him today. That back 3 with Victor Eriksson anchoring the back 3, and the midfield with young Cage Romanchin, who they're looking to take on a bigger role this year despite his young age. Jesse Kahn full of promise and potential in that midfield as well. Minnesota United FC2 are in the blue kits today, the light blue, as they move from right to left in this first half. It's Sporting KC2 in the dark navy blue tops and bottoms, going from left to right. Our referee is Wes Cowett. Let's play soccer on a Sunday afternoon. We're in motion in Lawrence, Kansas. 2 teams who look to attack and be the aggressor. Who can impose their style? How many goals might we see today? First touch for John Polskamp. And Sporting KC win an early throw by that midfield stripe, and they want to take it right away. Minnesota United like to high press. That is their style. Again, throughout their system. Just as Sporting KC2 play a 4-3-3 at all levels. Minnesota United want to be known for their pressing style, and their head coach Jeremy Hall, in his first season at the helm of this Next Pro side, says that really suits him and his personality. He loves it. And we're going to have an early foul and a free kick right outside the 18-yard box. Attacking set-piece opportunity for the home side in this opening minute. We'll see the foul again. And move it between the lines. And so a free kick from really close range. Sometimes free kick takers prefer it to be a few yards further back than right at the edge of the penalty box like it is here. You see Minnesota United putting almost everyone in that wall. The right-footed effort goes through the wall, and it's in the back of the net. What a start for Sporting KC2. A stunning start, a super start. 2nd minute, Sporting KC2 1, MNUFC 2 0. That might have deflected off someone, and Kai Zaroon got a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. And we'll see if it's credited to Cameron Habibullah, who took the shot from the free kick. It did appear to take a big deflection, but that is probably his goal. And if so, his hot goal scoring continues. Well, we thought there'd be goals in it. There was one right away. And that doesn't figure to be the last today. It is Habibullah's goal officially. Habibullah had a hat trick a couple of weeks ago against Colorado Rapids too. That is his 5th overall this season. Tough start for Kai Zaroon in his first professional start. Not sure how much he could have done about that. Would have seen it very late through that big wall in front of him. And if it took a deflection as well, makes it even tougher. Here is young Zaroon. He'll have a touch outside his box. You can hear the flags and the flagpoles squeaking in this breeze. Breeze showing at about 15 miles per hour, but again, the gusts can be considerably higher than that. And the wind does appear to favor MNUFC 2 in this first half. So Sporting KC 2 playing against the wind, but playing with the lead. Sporting KC 2 want to possess the ball. Minnesota United FC 2 want to put that pressure on and hunt the ball down and win it back as quickly as possible. Sporting KC head coach Benny Feilhaber, who of course is a U.S. men's national team legend, MLS legend, Sporting KC legend, said they're going to have to take care of the ball, be really smart with it. They turned it over there and it almost led to a good chance for Minnesota United. It is a back line for Sporting KC 2 that has seen changes almost every single week. They've not really been able to play a consistent back four from week to week yet. This is chested down by Habibullah, already on the score sheet today, looking for more. Nice pass. Step overs outside the area. It'll be another free kick for Sporting KC in a similar position to the one they scored from a few minutes ago. Felipe Hernandez earning that set piece. This will be further to the right of the original one, but from a similar distance. The foul given away by Victor Eriksson. So Cameron Habibullah standing over it again. And for young Kai Zaroon, very much a baptism by fire in these opening 5 minutes in his first pro start. Felipe Hernandez also around the ball, but it is Cameron Habibullah. This one hits the wall and then hit on the volley by Hernandez, taking a big deflection and kept in play by Kai Zaroon to prevent the corner, and on we go. Now a foot race, maybe a chance for Minnesota United, but a last-ditch tackle. Well done in the end by Ian James after he was fooled by the bounce initially. Patrick Weah was marauding, hoping to streak through if James didn't get that right. And then given away by SKC 2. Those are the kinds of giveaways that Minnesota United can pressure you into. They look to build their first true attack of the game. That's scooped over the top and will be an easy take for John Polskamp. Chalk Park, as you may have deduced, on the campus of Kansas University, home of the Jayhawks soccer program, and often the home of Sporting KC2 as well, a club that were founded in 2015 as Swope Park Rangers. Finished third in the Western Conference last year before falling in the conference quarterfinals. We've talked a lot about Minnesota United's high pressing system. It's been Sporting KC2 who've been causing trouble when they've pressed early on, as that skims all the way through. And Polskamp can let that run out for a goal kick. That's given away. Minnesota United looking for the equalizer. Square ball across the top of the 18. The return ball from Moses Nyman wasn't quite measured correctly, but back they come down this right flank. And a player taking a tumble. Referee wags his finger and says no. Wes Coet unmoved by the penalty shouts from the Loons. It'll just be a throw for the visitors on that far side. Derek Dodson to take. Played for Charleston Battery last year. It was a mainstay for them as they came within moments of winning the USL Championship title. Losing that final eventually on penalties to Phoenix Rising. Down this left side come the Loons this time. Darius Randall is very raw but has lots of potential. And showing that potential here as he surges along the end line but just runs out of room. And it's a goal kick. But there was a flash, there was a glimpse of what Darius Randall can do. Jeremy Hall talking this week about how excited he is about Darius Randall. And you could see why in that moment there. Minnesota United, after absorbing that early punch, getting more into their rhythm now. This is Morris Duggan. He's a Mac Herman Award semifinalist at Marshall University. That ball down the right is too long for Derek Dodson. Sporting KC 2 now with 15 goals scored already this year. They lose it, and Minnesota United look to work it onto the right side of the penalty box. That was cut off and taken away. Robust challenge there. Was a fair one in the referee's view. And the Loons down the right once again by that end line, trying to cut it across, and it will be out for a corner. The first of the match for either side in the 10th minute. So Sporting KC now with 15 goals scored in just over 6 matches played. They've also conceded 10, however. And they have defending to do here. First attacking set piece for the Loons. Drilled in low by the top of the 6-yard box. Bouncing on the edge of the area and scooped goalward. Not sure if that'll go down as a shot on goal officially. Easy catch for Pulskamp, who boots it long right away. Sporting KC 2 with 10 goals conceded in 6+ games, but they've been much better in the last few. Benny Feilhaber's been pleased with the progress they've been making on that side of the ball. Really, when you break it down, they conceded 9 of those 10 goals in their first 3.5 games. In the last 2.5, they only gave up 1 in total. Second half of that match in Denver against Rapids, too. They trailed that game 3-1 at halftime before storming back to win 5-3. And allowing just the 1 goal last week at Ventura County, and that was late in stoppage time in the second half, as this will be a free kick for Minnesota United. SKC 2 last week, just a couple minutes away from seeing out what would have been a great 1-0 win in Ventura, California, the home of the team that's been one of the best in Next Pro so far this year. Took a brilliant back heel no-look flick to equalize that game in stoppage time, and then Sporting KC went on to lose the shootout. A shootout that went 11 rounds, 10-9. It ended in Ventura County's favor, so SKC had to settle for just the single point. But a pretty good performance in Benny Feilhaber's view, as this will be a free kick in the center circle for Minnesota United, and the first caution of the match shown to Cameron Habibullah. So he has a goal and a card in these first 12 minutes.
Number 47, Cameron Habibullah, in the 12th minute.
Look at it again. Habibullah goes right through the back. Trying to say he got the ball. Not sure about that. does well to shield the ball. Morris Duggan takes the safe option. It's Victor Eriksson. Moses Nyman signed professionally with DC United when he was just 15 years old. He was their youngest ever homegrown signing at the time. Made his MLS debut for Minnesota United earlier this season. Eriksson, with Sporting KC lined up in front of him. Sizzling ball down the left. What a good ball it was for Randall as well. Tried to touch it over one defender, went down looking for a free kick, which was not given. Talked about how it's been a partly overcast day. That sun now back behind the clouds as we play in shadow. We continue to play in this breeze. Long from Pulskamp. Beto Avila jumped for it. Hunted down by the near touchline. Trying to shield it out of play was Morris Duggan. Then he had to play it instead as Maloon Gumbale pressured him. Gumbale, a guy who Benny Feilhaber regards as one of the glue guys on this SKC2 team. He does all the little things. So he personifies what we're about. Runs off the ball, defensive work and help. This will be a free kick for Minnesota United. We saw a brief look just a moment ago at what Maloon Gumbale provides. He can score goals as well, obviously, but hunting down the ball. Feilhaber said he's relentless. One of the things they love about him. Example there, Sporting KC being willing to go long to try to break this high press of Minnesota United when warranted. That was something Benny Feilhaber said they might do today in certain situations. You have a team that high presses as aggressively as the Loons do. Sometimes it really helps mitigate that press. They do have some speed up top. Trying to chest that ball down was Weah. Sporting KC passing their way through the press well this time. And behind the line, looking to the near side assistant referee who does raise the flag. This portion of the match is brought to you by Central Bank, official jersey front partner of SKC2 and community banking partner of Sporting KC. There's one of those turnovers that Minnesota United looked to create. They thought they would have a free kick subsequently, but a fair challenge again, says Wes Cowett. Avila then was chopped down and fouled, and Victor Eriksson immediately points and says, what about that one back there? And Wes Cowett said, well, that one wasn't a foul, and that one was. Or something like that. We'll see the one that was given as a foul. Eriksson pretty clearly clipping down Beto Avila. Avila has MLS appearances with Houston Dynamo. Trying to get back to a Major League Soccer first team. Has 3 goals so far this year. Team's second leading scorer so far. Between the lines, tons of space to come forward here. SKC2 looking to double their lead. Slid forward for a chance, clipped back to the top of the 6-yard box and cleared away. Maybe one pass too many for SKC2 in that case. And now a free kick for the Loons as Patrick Weah was held, and this will be another card. This one shown to Ian James.
Sporting Kansas City, number 96, Ian James, in the 18th minute.
So 2 cautions for the home side in these opening 18 minutes. Habibullah and now James both in the book. Let's see this again. Yeah, James with both arms, both hands wrapped around Weah's waist. Ian James, again, just 15 years old. He's played for SKC's U19s, so that shows you how highly they think of him. In fact, he spent preseason with the first team in Miami and appeared in 3 friendlies for them. Very, very bright talent. A square ball from Randall finds a teammate eventually. And the right-footed strike charged down by the defenders right in front of Cage Romanchin. Now the counter led by Avila, who is tracked down, and now play is pulled back for a previous foul, I believe. It will be a free kick for SKC2 in their own half. Neat one-touch soccer by SKC2. Here they come down the right side. This is Felipe Hernandez. Now Habibullah lining it up. Habibullah scores again. He can't stop scoring. His 2nd of the day, his 6th of the year. And it is a sizzling start for SKC2. They lead by 2-0. The break led by Felipe Hernandez. And Habibullah, how does he have that much time and space? Far more than he should have. That's not his fault. He did exactly what he should do under the circumstances. Low and hard, drilling it toward that far corner. Perfect finish. Again, Kaiserun got fingertips to it, but couldn't keep it out. So 20 minutes gone. 2 for the home side, 2 for Habibullah.
Once again, Sporting Kansas City goals
For Minnesota United, too.
Scoring his 2nd of the game.
Already a hill to climb, even though they have lots of time left in which to try to climb it.
Assisted by number 21.
Here they come now off a bit of a loose header. Neat back heel, charging toward the top of the 18-yard box. Pushed in the direction of the penalty spot. One back on the edge of the area. Right-footed strike, tipped over the bar. First save of the match from John Polskamp. He had to be alert to keep this a 2-goal lead. As the Loons very nearly struck right back. Scramble on the edge of the area. It was a really good strike in the end. Hit with plenty of pace and power. Fairly central, fairly close to Polskamp, but he still had to dart that right hand up and tip it over. Second corner of the first half. And low flat ball from that far flag. Just skimmed off the top of a Minnesota United head. They're able to win it back. Down the left channel, Randall. Darius Randall now swinging it back post. He'll find a teammate who takes it down acrobatically, looking to turn toward goal. Loose ball fought for on that edge of the box. One back by Minnesota United, scooped back toward the net. And an easy take in the end for Polskamp. Well, we told you at the top there would be chances and goals and turnovers and entertainment. That is what we're getting so far, but both the goals belong to the home side. Minnesota United have had some moments, had some half chances, haven't been able to capitalize. Cameron Habibullah has capitalized twice. Guy who Benny Feilhaber said this week was somebody he's had his eye on for a couple of years. Came up through the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy. Feilhaber said he's the kind of guy we could have used last year. A unique soccer brain that can unlock a defense. That's what they were missing in the playoffs last year. Here come Minnesota United. What a back heel that is. Chance to pull a goal back, but 2 defenders in the vicinity able to hamper the shot enough. and block it down so that Polskamp could pick it up and send his team the other direction. So the Loons continue to look dangerous. But just over midway through this first half, they continue to trail by 2-0. Good shielding of the ball by Avila. A strong hold-up play. Subsequent ball, not the best. MNUFC 2, led by head coach Jeremy Halls, who mentioned earlier. He was from Tampa, Florida. Played internationally for Puerto Rico. He also played for 5 MLS clubs. Appearances for New York Red Bulls, Portland Timbers, FC Dallas, Toronto FC, and New England Revolution. He's an assistant for MNUFC 2 the last couple of years, elevated to head coach this season. It's always interesting to talk to ex-players who had successful playing careers about how they use that experience now. That's cut out by the Minnesota United back line. It will be a throw for the visitors. 24 minutes gone. Jeremy Hall said, my career actually went similarly to these guys. He said, I was in a high-performance high school. In college, I was the top guy. You get drafted high, and then you go into MLS, and you're not making the 18, or you're not making the travel squad, not playing as much as you'd like. I know how hard it is. He said, we want to help these guys stay sharp for when their number's called. This portion of the match is brought to you by Children's Mercy Hospital of Kansas City, official healthcare partner of Sporting KC. Polskamp long into the teeth of that breeze. Somersaulting header, and the foul goes against SKC. So free kick to the Loons, just inside the halfway line. Morris Duggan. Darius Randall is seeing a lot of the ball on this left side in the first half. Not quite able to pick out a teammate subsequently. SKC sitting back at the moment. Loons continue to look for a goal back. Delivered from the right side, skims across the face, comes to the penalty spot, and it's put right at the goalkeeper. Polskamp had it fall right to his chest. Big chance for the Loons. And it goes begging. Well, it spun right to the feet of Cage Romanchin, who will want that back. It did take a deflection. Maybe caught him a bit in between steps. Wasn't able to steer it towards either corner. So 2 goals from Cameron Habibullah, separating the clubs right now. Goals in the 2nd and 19th minutes. So you can make it 16 goals scored for SKC2 already this year, by the way. Through not even 6.5 matches. MNUFC 2, I mentioned at the top, this is just their 4th regular season match. They've had a lot more training time in between games early this year to try to build fitness. And they come down this left side, excellent tackle. It'll be out for another corner. Again, it was well done by Ian James, especially now that he's on a yellow card. Anytime he goes to ground like that, he's got to make sure he wins it cleanly. And you see that flag fluttering in this breeze. Right-footed in-swinger toward the near post. Good header, partially away, and then flicked over the bar. It came to Patrick Weah, and he wasn't able to get over the top of it from close range. Loons continue to generate opportunities. And they win another ball back here. It's Romanchin. Top of the area. Weah wide. Well, the shooting boots aren't quite there for MNUFC 2 in this opening half hour, but the chances certainly are. Ian James did pretty well in the end to throw his body in the way and at least put Weah off. Weah starting to find more space there between those lines up top. Loons able to win that second ball and the third. Here comes Romanchin again, dropping it off for Weah. And then it falls far side. And what a save. John Pulskamp with a big stop. He denies Loic Masanvi one-on-one. Masanvi, the Minnesota native. Big chance. And another try with the left foot this time. That one taken on by Jesse Kahn, the Trinidad and Tobago international. Well, it's all Minnesota United at the moment, except on the score sheet where they trail by 2. And now they commit a foul, and that'll relieve pressure for now for SKC2. It's been quite a sequence of pressure for the Loons. See this one fall to Masanvi. Really good reading by John Pulskamp. Came racing off his line, made himself big, cut down the angle quickly. Didn't leave Masanvi with a whole lot to aim at. Masanvi had a couple appearances with the first team. Coach Jeremy Hall said he's looking like a different player from last year. He's taken a big step forward. A free kick taken, and it catches Minnesota United out. Squared to the top of the area, and the turnaround try by Maloon Goombale was blocked. Now speared back into the area. Not the most convincing initial header away. And MNUFC 2 able to calm things down. Now it's Sporting KC's turn to apply that press and create a turnover. Here they come into the area again. A chance for number 3. Put right at Zaroon. Felipe Hernandez. A great opportunity as it fell to him just above the penalty spot. Felipe, number 21, just inside the 18-yard box by the time he released that. He'll be a little disappointed he wasn't able to pick a corner. Always much easier said than done to do that, though. Here's Habibullah on a hat trick. Habibullah carries wide. Habibullah puts it wide this time. And his hat trick will have to wait for now. You can see how much danger he poses and how much room he continues to have when he picks up those balls between the line. MNUFC 2, they're not able to deal with him, not able to close him down, not able to prevent him having that time and space to unleash those strikes. The Loons counter now, clipped into the middle, looking for Weah. Randall chested back. Here's Darius. Randall, what a save! Incredible fingertip stop by John Pulskamp. Pulsating from Pulskamp, who keeps it 2-0 again. They take the corner quickly. From the edge of the area, skimmed back in. Scooped away briefly. Flicked along again. And a sliding tackle. Takes it toward the touchline and out for a Loons throw. Let's see this save from John Pulskamp. It was great interplay between Randall and Weah. Look at this chest down into the path of Randall, and it's a really good finish, except it wasn't a finish because there was Pulskamp throwing out that left hand and tipping it around that far post. This portion of the match is brought to you by Price Chopper, official grocery partner of Sporting KC. And are you not entertained? Both these teams relentless, as we expected. It was not empty hype when we told you this should be fun. This will be a goal kick. The only reason this is 2-0 and not at least 2-2 is John Polskamp. That's not to cast any aspersions on Kai Zaroon between the other sticks. Minnesota United. And Zaroon has been victimized by a deflection and a mostly unsighted free kick. It would have been an extremely difficult save to make. And then that second goal from Habibullah. Poor defending and a really good finish as well. The Loons have had some excellent opportunities. They waste that one. Polskamp saving one-on-one from Loic Massanvi. And then that brilliant fingertip save to deny Darius Randall moments ago. MNUFC kick off their 2024 home schedule this Friday, May 3rd. When they welcome surging St. Louis City 2 to the land of 10,000 lakes. We'll have all the action for you starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on MLSNextPro.com. Back come the Loons down this right side. Chance to square off a defender. Another corner for the visitors, who continue to be undeterred by this scoreline. Continue to push for at least a goal back before halftime. Shirts line up by the penalty spot, drilled in on top of goal. Again, a clean take by John Polskamp. His handling's been clean. His saves has been spectacular. His distribution's been pretty good as well. He's looked like a guy with over 20 appearances for the first team. Ten minutes remaining in this first half. Randall, good ball to Weah. He and Randall forming a great partnership as this first half goes on. Weah with the step-overs. Ball stays in play, and now Weah wins a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. That was very close. And apparently just outside the 18 when contact was initiated, says referee Wes Cowett. And so he draws the line. An interesting spot. It's basically a very short corner upcoming. Let's see it again. The grass is pretty tall here at Rock Chalk Park. Yeah, it looks like the referee gets that exactly right, just outside the penalty area. Although the ball's been put down just inside it. And I think Wes Cowett spotting that, saying, well, look, it's not a penalty, then you can't put the ball down inside the 18-yard area. Come on. It's one of the shortest corners you'll see in soccer. Played to the top of the box, not hit with a lot of conviction from there, easily blocked out. It's very close to being in the range of one of those weird indirect free kicks that you see every now and then when a goalkeeper picks up a back pass. It's so short, it creates some awkward angles for everybody involved, including the attacking team. SKC, too, have not had a lot of the ball over the last 10 minutes. What a takedown that was by Habibullah. That was silky skill, but then he lost it subsequently. And here comes Darius Randall again for the Loons. And Weah has drifted out to this left flank at the moment. Weah taking on defenders again, wins another free kick on this left side. He was bundled over this time by Natty Clark. Clear foul from Clark, who's just 19 years old, born in Ethiopia but raised in Topeka, Kansas. Well, can Minnesota United make all this pressure pay off on the scoreboard? Cut this deficit in half before the break. Toward the near post, whistle goes. And apparently Wes Cowett had not blown his whistle. So we'll do it again. Westcoat wants to sort some things out in the box first. Everybody lined up on the top of the 6. It's put toward the near post. Flick to the top of the area then. Back into the mix. Dealt with by SKC. And they race up this far side with Avila. Avila keeps on going. Brings Habibullah into the play. Habibullah nutmegs a defender. That's a spectacular sequence. What might it lead to here for SKC? To Shantrit. Now Hernandez. And around the corner, Danny Flores. Past one defender, thumps it off the second. Corner for SKC2. That was phenomenal from them. So an SKC corner, which Hernandez will take. His out-swinging ball flies over everyone. Now the break could be on for the Loons. Players sprinting forward. Randall is making that run into space. Now Weah with the underlapping run, and Weah, was he taken out by the goalkeeper? No, he got the ball. Referee Wes Cowett says that was clean. And again, the Loons are thwarted. And again, John Polskamp getting everything right in this first half. Let's see. Polskamp comes out. Yeah, he gets the ball, certainly. Does take out Weah, but doesn't mean it's a foul or a penalty. And now it's a free kick for the home side as we approach the final 5 of this first half. And Avila has stayed down for SKC2. Let's see this foul as Avila was impacted. Yeah, Victor Eriksson might have gotten him on the top of the shoe, I think, and Eriksson was shown a yellow card. So that's the first booking of the match for MNUFC 2. Remember, James and Habibullah have both been booked for Sporting Kansas City. But tonight we've got a Texas derby for you later this evening when unbeaten North Texas hosts Dynamo Dos at Choctaw Stadium. Coverage begins at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on MLSNextPro.com. This is Sporting KC's throw. Sporting KC, after scoring those 2 early goals, they've come under heavy pressure since. They would love to get to halftime at 2-0 up. That is certainly not assured just yet. Musanvi laid it off for Romanchin. And miscommunication there. Well, again, that Texas derby for you later tonight. Again, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on MLSNextPro.com. North Texas hosting Dynamo Dos. Here comes Habibullah looking for the hat trick. Habibullah onto his left. Habibullah hit the post. That close to his first half hat trick for Cameron Habibullah. And it's only the post that can stop him in this game today. That looked like it was nestling into the corner. That looked like 3-0. Not quite. But again, MNUFC 2 continue to not be able to find ways to deal with Cameron Habibullah in this first half. Again, you see the talent that Randall has. And now we are racing after this. Can he keep it in play? No. This is a slower surface, but even so. Let's take a look at that Habibullah chance from a moment ago. How close did he come? Look at this chop back onto the left. Beautifully done. Just pulled it an inch too far. Everything else about it, though, superb from Habibullah. which sums up his first half in general. Taken down well by Randall. That's not his best. That's given away. Habibullah, his initial touch wasn't great. He does earn a free kick, though, and another yellow card. That initially was 3-on-3 for SKC2. The ball was given to Habibullah. Moses Nyman, not the worst yellow card to take from Minnesota United's perspective. That prevented the break. About 90 seconds to play in the first half, plus stoppage time. Bit of an odd first half to try to analyze. Minnesota United with a ton of pressure. Really good chances. But when they've had to defend, and specifically when they've had to defend Cameron Habibullah, they've not really been able to do it. They haven't taken their chances at the other end too, although I'll give John Polskamp some credit for that as well. So I'm sure Jeremy Hall will feel that this is still a game they can get back into in the second half. They'll have to be sharper in either box, however. That ultimately is where games are won and lost. Still time for them to maybe pull one back before half. There will be 2 additional minutes to be played. Jesse Kahn did well. Sanvi had it taken from him, but it will be another corner. Fourth official, Kyle Armstrong, does indeed indicate the 2 additional minutes to be played. Those additional minutes begin with a corner, drilled in low, but didn't meet the first man, or didn't beat the first man, I should say. That was Habibullah defending. And that went out of play. That's disappointing for Minnesota United. Polskamp came out to claim anyway. Victor Eriksson bundled him over. They exchange handshakes, and 90 seconds remain of stoppage time. Habibullah, maybe time for more magic from him, and this is another free kick. And this is another card, I believe. Nope, the flag was up for offside, excuse me. Otherwise would have been a free kick, I think, for SKC. Into the second minute of stoppage time. Randall and Weah exchanging again. Again, the sliding challenge from Ian James. Weah in a hurry. Perhaps too much of a hurry. And free kick SKC. And they can try to nurse this clock until halftime. Savvy move from Danny Flores, standing over the ball, then saying, oh wait, this isn't my free kick to take. Running away. Same from Jacob Bartlett. No, this isn't mine either. John, you come out and take this. They ate up about 30 seconds with that. Polskamp booting long. There is halftime. And so Minnesota United, too, creating turnovers, pressing high, doing a lot of what they want to do. Had excellent chances, but were thwarted repeatedly by John Polskamp. And at the other end, Cameron Habibullah scoring from a free kick in the second minute, scoring from open play in the 19th. And so at the break, here in Lawrence, Kansas at Rock Chalk Park, it's Sporting KC 2, Minnesota United FC 0.
Messi! La pelota para que llegue. Contact and a shot. Querida, qué golazo. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Andrete. Servicio.
Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega. ¡Golazo!
Amor al gol. Parte externa. Va a definir Chicho.
Here we go again, taking to the streets. Here we go again, marching to our own beat. If we start to lose the rhythm in our feet, we just pick it up again, pick it up again, pick it up again. We do it in style, we can move anywhere we wanna move. Style, we can do anything we wanna do in style.
Welcome back. Our halftime score is Sporting KC 2, Minnesota United FC 2 0. Michel Montaigne took a recent trip to New Jersey to visit with New York Red Bulls 2 head coach Ibrahim Sakaya. Here's what she found out about the former Uganda national team captain.
Today we welcome you inside of the New York Red Bulls training facility. I am Michel Montaigne, joined by Ibrahim Sakaya, a name that is synonymous with the Red Bulls organization. Coach, you've been such a big part of this club for so long, and it's been such a big part of your life. In your current role as the head coach of Red Bulls 2, what's the most important part to you about getting to really help shape this next generation of players in this club that means so much?
No, I think the most important thing to see the young boys coming up. I think this is the role for us, like with my staff, being the head coach for the second team and seeing the young players coming from our academy going into the first team. Some like traveling away from here to go to another clubs in Europe. This is the most interesting when you see the young players growing up. We had a bunch of players been here for long, seeing Tyler Adams where he is, Matt Miazika, a few along, you can see how they are, but seeing them when they are growing and where they are, this is the most important.
The whole point of this league is to get guys to that point, right? It's to see them get to the next level. But there's obviously a lot of pressure that comes with that. How do you help the guys who have maybe gotten some of that exposure manage that pressure while playing at this level?
No, for us here in the club, I think the most important we talk to the players is about the growing, about to understanding the way how the club works, how we want the players to go into our system. This is the most important. We don't put too much pressure with the players. They have to enjoy also. But the most important to understand the next step where we want them to be, so that everything, as long as they understand the way how we play, this is the most important.
A couple guys who really understand how you play, Ibrahim Kasule, a couple other guys who are on this roster who are actually from your home country of Uganda. How would you describe the relationship you have with Ibrahim and Frank and Steven?
No, I can say I'm like a father to them. I've seen them growing up and getting the players like that to get a chance to be into this organization. Kasule has done a fantastic job with Steve and Franca. You can see where they are. Those are the players. We saw them at home, and I knew that they can be able to do what they are doing, and they are still growing up. I don't think they already seen what they have to do, but they are still growing up. It's exciting to see them, and this gives another young players like the country where they're coming from, so that they can get a chance.
How did you know?
Yeah, I went back home, and then I saw them when they are playing, but the connection which I have from my country is big. When I went them, when I see them and then talk about the club, and I knew that they can grow from here, and the club, we saw what they have. They are fantastic players.
Coming over to the United States from a different country. I know there's got to be some time for that acclimation process to take place. How do you help them get used to like the burgers, the food, the new people, everything's new? How do you help them adjust?
I think for them, it's a different. I think the time they came here, I was here and I've been out for so long, I understand it. And I think the United States is a different country. They have all foods, they have, we can find what they want to eat, but the best way is me being here. I think I help them a little bit, and I have family here. We try to cook our food home, and then from there, but now they understand, they eat the food which we need them to be eating.
Are you telling me that you cook sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, favorite thing to cook, or best thing you can cook?
It's gonna be difficult for you to understand because it's a food from our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it matoke.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
my
I have
fault.
some research to do. All right, Coach, I know it's early in the second season for you guys, but how have you seen your club, the league, evolve in just the amount of time that Red Bulls 2 has been part of MLS Next Pro?
No, it's growing. I think the first year when we came in, we are trying to understand the way the league, but I think every year, for me, the first year, we'll try to understand the rules, the way how it's going, and then now we're in the second year where we feel like we understand well, and the teams, every team is growing up now. We see a lot of teams, they have good players, younger players are coming. I think this is the league which we see is going to be growing up in couple of years coming. There are a lot of talent players in there, a lot of clubs.
We're excited to see the league continue to grow, and of course, you guys continue to grow with it. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
That Matoke looked good, didn't it? Good stuff from Michelle and Ibrahim Sakaya. Our first half highlights and stats are next, but first we'll step aside for a quick break.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
Messi! Manda la pelota para que gane. ¡Mamita querida, qué golazo! Papite, magnifique frappe. Really, really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Para Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta al frente. Servicio. El tiro.
Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega. ¡Golazo!
Amor al gol. Parte externa va a definir Chicho.
Halftime winding down here at Rock Chalk Park, where the home side Sporting KC2 lead by 2-0 over MNUFC 2. Let's look at our first half highlights from our opening 45 minutes. They're going to involve a lot of Cameron Habibullah and John Polskamp. That's a spoiler. Second minute, Habibullah through the wall, took a deflection. Not a good wall from Minnesota United, but the opening goal, about 90 seconds in, Habibullah for his 5th of the year, and he was not done. In the 19th minute, they would double the lead. Felipe Hernandez has had a couple appearances with the first team this year, squaring it for Habibullah, who has left far too much time and space on the top of the 18. And Habibullah slotting it in for his 2nd, his 6th of the year. Minnesota United had lots of attacking play, lots of chances, lots of pressure over the rest of the first half. They could not find the back of the net. This was the first save from John Polskamp, tipping that one over the bar. A ball that was hit with plenty of venom. Then a ball would fall to Loic Massanvi, and Pulskamp racing off his line to cut down the angle and make the one-on-one save. And then later on, what a great chest down this was by Weah into the path of Randall, who thought he picked out the far side netting, only for Pulskamp to stick out that left hand and say no. And then Cameron Habibullah, this close to his second hat trick already of the season, chopping it beautifully onto his left and just dragging it off the post instead of inside it. And that was the margin by which it stayed only 2-0 for the home side into the break. You see the shots, 10-8, really entertaining first half. 5 shots on target for MNUFC 2, but all 5 of them saved by Pulskamp. Passing accuracy, pretty good for Minnesota United. Could be improved for Sporting KC 2. Both sides with 2 yellow cards, remember. Nyman and Eriksson for the visitors. James and Habibullah for SKC 2. One more break. When we come back, we'll look at upcoming schedules and scores from around MLS Next Pro and kick off the second half. Can Sporting KC 2 salt away their 4th win of the year? Can MNUFC 2 bring themselves all the way back? We'll see in just a moment.
Dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
Messi. La pelota para que really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Al frente. Servicio.
It's saved by Carlos Corner. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega. Golazo.
Parte externa va a definir Chicho.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Upcoming schedule from around MLS Next Pro. Next Friday, Timbers 2, Whitecaps FC 2, Inter Miami 2 taking on New York Red Bulls 2. MNUFC 2's next game against St. Louis City 2. That's 7 p.m. Eastern next Friday as well. Earlier this week, Chattanooga FC defeating Carolina Core yesterday in the Battle of the Independents. Austin FC 2 losing out. Ventura County, another penalty shootout win as they take 2 points for a second straight week. Tacoma Defiance on Thursday beat the Town 3-2 in a really good one. Atlanta United 2 began match week 7 with a 1-0 win over Chattanooga FC. Next match week, next Friday's slate, I should say, will round out with Atlanta United 2 and NYCFC 2, the Town taking on Houston Dynamo Dos, and Colorado Rapids 2 against Austin FC 2 at 10 p.m. Eastern. Almost set for the second half here at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. Donnie Barnes with you. It is 2-0 in favor of Sporting KC 2. The home side scoring in the 2nd and 19th minutes of the first half, both times through Cameron Habibullah, who already has 1 hat trick this season. Did that a couple weeks ago against Rapids 2. And again, as you saw in our halftime highlights, was an inch away from completing his hat trick in the first half today. And we'll see if he can do so in the second half. Minnesota United FC 2 will be kicking from left to right in this second half. They are in the sky blue kits. SKC 2 in the navy blue tops and bottoms going this half from right to left. As you can see, the wind gusting from right to left. It's SKC2 who will have the wind in their favor in the second half. Didn't matter in the first half, as it turned out. Referee Wes Cowett looks at his watch, and off we go again for half number 2. Can MNUFC 2 mount a big comeback? They had plenty of chances in the first half. Can they start to put any of them away? Or can SKC2 pull away and notch their 4th win in 7 games this year and continue their fine start to this season? John Pulskamp, sensational in the first half. MNUFC 2 had 8 shots inside the SKC penalty area in half number 1. 8. Anytime you have 8 shots inside your opponent's box and don't score in a half, well, you'll be disappointed, and that often says that the goalkeeper for the other side had a really good half, and that's certainly the case with John Pulskamp. SKC2 onto the attack here early in the second half. It's Habibullah. Now on the left side. And miscommunication in the end. Out for a goal kick. Chelo to Shantret. Trying to play a teammate to the end line. To Shantret, just 18 years old, born in Baltimore, raised there, moved to the Kansas City area to attend the SKC Academy in 2020. He's been with them since. Good tracking by Habibullah to win the foul and the free kick from Loic Musanvi. It's one of those turnovers created by Minnesota United. And Weah at the top of the area. Weah pulls one back for the Loons. Just 2 minutes into the second half. That's exactly the start to the half they craved. 2-1. MNUFC 2 right back in this. What'd we just say? 8 shots inside the opponent's box in the first half. None of them went in. Well, it's 1 for 1 in the second half, and it all comes from this high press and this turnover. They cause it right there on the far touchline. 1 pass and they're in. Weah one-on-one with the defender, turns inside, cuts it back to the near post. He had Pulskamp leaning the other way. And so the finish that they could not find at all in the opening 45, they find almost immediately in the second half. What a game we've got now. Promised you action and goals. Now both teams are on the score sheet. And again, it does not at all feel like we're finished in that department yet today. What a tackle there. And staying in play on this long grass. Great run down that left side. Free kick earned by Beto Avila. Avila, excuse me. Who was able to get inside, goal side of the defender, who had to bring him down. Avila right there, able to step across the front of the defender. And Avila still feeling the effects of that. They take the free kick quickly. And it's curled in off the inside of the post. How did that stay out? All the way across the end line and out for a goal kick. That close to restoring the 2-goal lead for SKC2. They took it quickly. They completely surprised Minnesota United. Felipe Hernandez curling it over several heads somehow. That ball seemed to defy physics in multiple ways. It's a gorgeous free kick by Hernandez. I'm not sure if he was actually trying to score directly. If he was trying to pick a teammate out in the 6. Almost worked out ideally. Well, it's a free kick for the Loons. Well, it was a crazy start to the first half. Remember, Habibullah scored less than 2 minutes in to the opening 45 minutes. MNUFC 2 scoring just 2 minutes into the second half. Throw this game wide open again. Now they search for an equalizer. 1-on-2 in that corner. Booted away. And Kai Zaroon, a 17-year-old who, again, missed it in the first half, is making his professional debut today. Tough way to begin. Not a ton that he could have done on those 2 goals. That's a bad giveaway. Now it's 2-on-2 for SKC. Maneuvering into the box. This is Habibullah. Gave it away once, got it back. Decent idea, but he and Felipe Hernandez not on the same wavelength. Goal kick. And MNUFC 2 get away with one there. Good challenge from Jacob Bartlett. 17 years old. He's the brother of St. Louis City's Lucas Bartlett. Jacob spent the preseason with the first team. To Shantret. Nice move. He releases Natty Clark. Clark swings it far side. That's a good ball in. Habibullah knotting it down. On goal. One save. There's the second goal. No. Flag is up. Offside. Nearly restoring the 2-goal lead, but it will not count. Beto Avila was arriving. Habibullah knotted it up into the air. Good strike, right on target. But the flag was up. SKC 2, though, building pressure. Hernandez. Hernandez cuts onto his right. Hernandez. Not his best. Trying to curl it into that top corner. Hernandez made 2 MLS appearances this year with the first team. He's on the bench for most of their games. Didn't make the 18 the last couple weeks. Getting some time today. Here's a chance for a 3rd goal, and again a last-ditch tackle. Beto Avila taking a bit too long to get his shot off there from 6 yards out. Wanted an extra touch. It was one touch too many. Well, again, it's 2-1. Feels like it could be about 5-5 at this point in the game. We've still got about 40 minutes remaining. Corner for the home side. Curled in, punched away by Zaroon. Not very far. Up in the air it goes, still not clear. And there's the 3rd goal. Nope, flag is up again. It will not count. Second time in 2 minutes, SKC have had the ball in the back of the net, only to see it ruled out. Minnesota United tried to take that quickly. That didn't work out. It is a thoroughly deranged game at the moment. Just how you like it as a neutral. I'm not sure how much the 2 head coaches will be pleased. Free kick, MNUFC 2.
Substitution for Minnesota in the 54th minute.
First substitution of the match comes in the 54th minute.
By number 42, Justin Arias.
Justin Arias is in for Moses Nyman, who's been on a yellow card since partway through the first half. Arias, still an academy player, one of a number of academy players on this roster, on the bench today for the Loons. See that ball hold up in the wind, and then UFC kicking against it in this second half. Free kick, Sporting Kansas City. Natty Clark leaves it for Habibullah. Switches it that far side, and off we go again. Avila trying to twist past multiple defenders. Defender won the ball cleanly, says Wes Coet, pointing to say the same. And now Weah is marauding the other way, and he's tugged back. This will be a free kick. appears that will be all. Weah saying, what about the card? Oftentimes when a defender tugs back an attacker in that kind of situation, it is a booking, but not on this occasion. 10 minutes into the second half. Space out on that left flank. Randall still tussling for that ball, does earn the throw. Twisting by that corner flag. Randall. First touch for Arias. He's left for Weah. Swung in from the top of the area. Loose ball cleaned up by Arias again. This portion of the match is brought to you by Central Bank, official jersey front partner of SKC2 and community banking partner of Sporting KC. All the way back to Zaroon. Britton Fisher, 20 years old, from Greenville, North Carolina. Romanchin signed a professional contract with the club in January after coming through their academy. Arias tugged down. 13 shots now in the game for MNUFC 2, 12 for SKC 2. And we're only in the 57th minute. Weah trying to backheel it into the path of Romanchin, who wasn't advanced quite far enough, and then almost given away by Pulskamp, who was being closed down aggressively. And the Sanvi came flying in and got something on it. See the shadows just starting to creep onto the field from that near side. Chest down for Habibullah, who tried to play the underlap. Comes back to Habibullah, lays it off this time. Flores. This is that possession game for Sporting KC. And then lost as he came forward by Ian James. All a bit scrappy. Matty Clark, SKC2, starting to play those triangles, starting to possess a bit more. They generated some early danger right from the kickoff in this second half, but then conceded that goal just 2 minutes in. This long ball takes a kind bounce and then allowed to run. The whistle had gone anyway. Almost surprised Kai Zaroon. It was rolling wide of the goal anyhow, as it turned out. But a heart and mouth moment, as they say. Down this left side, there's room to run again for Darius Randall. And he loves doing that. Into the box it goes. Headed back out for a throw. Chris Rindolph was in the way in that center back spot. Rindolph, just 21 years old, been up and down between the first team and SKC2. Key member of their back line, but doesn't usually train with the next pro side, so haven't been able to develop that chemistry on their back line yet. Now here goes Weah into the box, and it took a deflection. And Weah not quite able to find a teammate with that cutback. Patrick Weah got some MLS minutes a few years ago. He's been excellent today. The scorer of their goal almost was able to create a second there. Habibullah. Player went tumbling ahead of him. The play on, advantage being played by the referee. Slid inside the area, right-footed effort. Save was made, Avila back to goal. Pulls it back, Habibullah off a defender. Helped only as far as Habibullah again. Using his trickery, Avila bundled down and eventually hit on target. And a simple stop by Zaroon. SKC2 wanted the free kick. They felt that Avila was fouled. Shot eventually was taken by Chelo Tashantrit. Sunday, May 5th, Cameron Habibullah and Beto Avila look to do what no team has done so far in 2024, and that's beat North Texas. SKC2 and NTX square off at Rock Chalk at 7 p.m. Eastern. As Minnesota United 2 in for the equalizing goal, and it's saved by Pulskamp. Almost nutmegged him, did Loic Masanvi, but Pulskamp just able to get the inside of the shoe on it and deflect it wide to that near post. Let's see it again. Just was able to close the feet quickly enough. Nearly 2-2. Instead, it's just a corner for MNUFC 2. Taken with the low outswinger, didn't beat the first man. Anyhow, SKC2 and NTX next week squaring off at Rock Chalk, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have it for you exclusively on MLS Season Pass. Both teams continue to look dangerous every time they come forward. Randall, again, bursting into life along that touchline. See why they're so excited about him. Oh, neat dribble. It's good skill. SKC2 can build now. Tashantrit was closed down, lost the ball. Now it's the Loons flying forward with purpose. Still coming forward, edge of the area. Jesse Kahn pulls it back, swung across right-footed, headed clear. And then trickeration. Seeing really good on-the-ball skill in this match. Is Habibullah onside? Habibullah still on a hat trick. And couldn't pick out a teammate on the top of the 18. Kept in play. Again, it's a slow surface. Flores. To the end line. Flores. His cutback. No navy blue shirts in the area. Aimless ball out. Here comes Hernandez, releasing Habibullah. Habibullah, Hernandez leaves it, and it's 3-1. Beautiful goal by SKC2. Their 2-goal lead is restored. Danny Flores tucks it away. Gorgeous goal. And the scoreline's gloss is looking good for SKC2 once again. 3-1 in the 64th minute. Watch this interplay. First Hernandez, then Habibullah. Wastes no time. What a step over. What a leave by Hernandez, allowing Flores to ghost in behind him and tuck it into that far corner. That is slick. That's sensational. That's 3-1. 2 substitutions for SKC2 as well following that goal. They bring on Ethan Bryant in place of Danny Flores. So that goal is Flores' last action of the afternoon/early evening. Also, Harris Alissa replaces Ian James. MNUFC also making a substitution. Andrew Heckenleibel is coming on.
Substitution in the 65th minute.
And he replaces Darius Randall.
He replaced by number 47, Andrew Heckenleibel.
Heckenleibel, another academy player.
Substitution for Sporting Kansas City in the 65th minute. Leaving the game, number 96, Ian James. He's replaced by number
Good performance by Ian James, a 15-year-old. Picked up the early booking. Played pretty maturely with it.
Sporting Kansas City in the 65th minute.
Continues to show maturity beyond his years. That's why, as we told you in the first half, he's playing with the U19s as a 15-year-old, and now is getting minutes with the next pro side after playing for the first team in preseason. Here's Tashantret into the middle. Lots of space for Hernandez. Hernandez then forced to check. Stays on the ball. Tashantret. Ethan Bryant. He was the USL League One Young Player of the Year a couple years ago. Habibullah. And a free kick for Sporting KC. As the shadows have swept across the field again. This portion of the match is brought to you by Children's Mercy Hospital of Kansas City, official healthcare partner of Sporting KC. See 3 players around this ball for Sporting KC. Ethan Bryant, Felipe Hernandez, now Habibullah stepping away from it. It will be Hernandez, and again, well underneath it. Out from the back. Justin Arias had to get rid of that ball in a hurry. Now it's SKC2 winning it, and Bryant has lots of space down the right. Ethan Bryant has targets to pick out in the box. Bryant's cutback, not at a good enough angle, and fairly simple for Zaroon to stop it and then claim it. Ethan Bryant's had to refocus himself early this season. There were talks prior to this year about him being given a first-team contract. Of course, he was very eager for that to happen. Didn't end up happening. That, of course, was disappointing. Benny Feilhaber spoke this week about how difficult that can be for a young player. He's been there. This is hammered clear by Pulskamp. Feilhaber said the ups and downs, if you take what life is and accelerate it and put some caffeine into it, that's what professional sports is. There's a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys, and they come very quickly. And he said the ability to mentally deal with it is something Ethan's had to deal with. So he had that bump in the road at the beginning of the season where he wasn't playing at his best. He's turned it around since then, and his game last weekend was his best game of the season so far. So a chance for Bryant to make an impact off the bench today. Good chest down. MNUFC 2 trying to get back within a goal, but Bryant dispossesses and looks to start the counter. Not able to keep that in play. Tough return ball from Avila. Bryant was having to squint into that sun, which has re-emerged very strongly. No MLS games going on today. Everything happened yesterday for the first teams. Big win for Austin FC over LA Galaxy. FC Cincinnati defeating Colorado by 2-1. Inter Miami, a 4-1 win in front of 65,000 in New England at Gillette Stadium. Bryant mazing his way past a defender, lofting it into the path of Habibullah, who's still seeking his hat trick. Habibullah instead slides in a teammate. Avila, one chance. Avila saved. Kai Zaroon sprawls and keeps it out and keeps Minnesota United within 2. And Zaroon stays down after the play. Well, Habibullah, you thought he was going to go for goal. You thought he was going to go for his hat trick. Instead, he unselfishly lays it off for Avila. He was able to touch it around Morris Duggan. Wasn't able to beat Kai Zaroon and made a really good stop. Zaroon might require treatment. 17-year-old making his pro debut today. This could put MNUFC 2 in a bit of a difficult position goalkeeper-wise. MNUFC 2 already down in numbers that goalkeeping position. Fred Emmings is the usual backup to Alex Smurr, who has been the usual starter for the Loons this season. Fred Emmings suffered a concussion in late March, so he's still out due to that. Smurr was on the first team match day roster last night with the first team for Sporting Kansas City. Now, Oliver Kelly is on the bench for MNUFC 2, so he is a goalkeeper from the academy. He would be, you would presume, the next person up if Kai Zaroon can't continue to play. So Zaroon is back up. Looks like he's trying to walk that off. He's hoping to continue. As he continues to walk that off, we'll remind you we've got a Texas derby for you later tonight when unbeaten North Texas hosts Dynamo Dos at Choctaw Stadium. Coverage begins at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. As this corner now taken and loose on the top of the 6. Just speared away from danger before it could be tucked home. So that Texas derby coverage begins at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on MLSNextPro.com. Loons trying to counter. Long ball forward. Patrick Weah galloping after it, but he's put a lot into this game already. Chris Rindolph easily getting there first on this occasion. Good to see Kai Zaroon moving well. That back header turned over to Ethan Bryant, who immediately moves it into the path of Avila. Now Habibullah lofting it over the top. First touch wasn't optimal for Maloon Gumbale. Gumbale taking on 2 defenders. Gumbale still, it runs out. It will be a corner. Good work by Gumbale in the end. Played 5 years at Indiana for the Hoosiers. He's a 3-time Big Ten champ. 2 more changes for SKC. Jake Swallen and Ryan Reed both ready to come on. Avila and Felipe Hernandez making way.
He's replaced by number 80, Jake Swallen.
Jake Swallen played his college soccer at Wake Forest University. Ryan Reed, an 18-year-old from Leawood, Kansas. He's been with the SKC Academy since 2017. 15 minutes to go. I'm not sure that ball is within the corner circle, but taken anyhow. Tracked down by Ryan Reed, puts it back in the mix. Second ball will fall on the edge of the area. And here's Habibullah. Habibullah has a hat trick for the second time already this year. 7th game of the season, 2 hat tricks, 7 goals overall. Cameron Habibullah is unconscious. And SKC have daylight today. 4-1, they lead the Loons. Slid in well by Jacob Bartlett, and Habibullah finished it brilliantly. Close to his hat trick a few times already since his second goal of the day back in the 19th minute. This time he wasn't missing. Habibullah continues to turn heads in MLS Next Pro. So with a 3-goal lead, MNUFC facing a 3-goal deficit, they will make further changes. Finn McRobb has come on for them. So has Nathan Moa and Tamer Ibsayas.
Substitutions for Minnesota in the 77th minute, leaving the game number 40, Victor Erickson, number 36, Jesse Kahn, and number 29, Patrick Weah. Entering the game, number 39, Finn McRobb, number 48, Tamer Ibsayas, and number 52, Nathan
SKC too trying to pour it on now. Have it on the edge of the area, but they commit the foul. And a free kick for Minnesota United. Victor Erickson was the 3rd player subbed off for Minnesota United. So 12.5 minutes remaining. MNUFC 2 came out of the blocks in the second half really well. They got that goal back with Patrick Weah. Run out of steam a bit over the last 15 or so. Benny Feilhaber will feel that his SKC2 side have played with a bit more control since giving up that goal early in the second half. Weren't able to control the game through their possession very much in the first half, despite leading 2-0. But much improved, I think, since the break. And they've continued to bang in the goals, as they almost always will. Feilhaber said this week, we're going to score goals. We haven't been shut out yet this season. We were shut out a couple times all last year. Here's Arias. Will skim along the touchline and stay in play. Had to be played by Morris Duggan, who did so well. Brandon Munson's about to come in for SKC. This is sprayed long by Britton Fisher. Sanvi trying to get on the end of it. Polskamp hasn't had nearly as much to do over the last 20 minutes or so after making some brilliant saves in the first half.
Substitution for Sporting Kansas
Here comes Brandon Munson.
Leaving the game, number 33, Natty Clark.
Natty Clark makes way for Munson, who is an 18-year-old SKC Academy player.
By number 72, Brandon Munson.
The ball stays in play, and this portion of the match is brought to you by Price Chopper, official grocery partner of Sporting KC, who are on the break here and have a player streaking right down the middle, and he's found. And here comes Ryan Reed, but just tracked down by two light blue shirts. And we're into the final 10 minutes at Rock Chalk Park. A hat trick from Habibullah. Flores also scoring for SKC. Weah, the lone tally for Minnesota United, too. Harris, Alisa, playing that out. Now a run forward. Brandon Munson and Habibullah scooping it over the top, but well read by Kai Zaroon. Harris Alisa on loan from FK Sarajevo. That is his hometown club. Bosnia and Herzegovina, just 19. Here goes Masanvi, and Masanvi's in, and Masanvi has it beaten away by Pulskamp. First time Pulskamp's been called into action in quite a while. Yet again, he was equal to it. Second time he stopped Masanvi 1v1 today. Now Moa, that took a deflection. Had to be headed from almost under the shadow of his own crossbar. Suddenly the Loons pushing to try to grab a goal back. Well, it's Habibullah taking it for a dribble and winning a throw. Habibullah has created that linking force between defense and attack for SKC this year, and he's supplied those finishing touches as well on many occasions. Free kick for the Loons. SKC appear to be headed for their 4th win in 7 games this year. They would be on 13 points. Minnesota United still trying to get into a rhythm. And a very halted start to their year, playing half as many games as SKC have. I figure they'll be better once they start playing regularly now. Play it between defenders there was Tamer Ibsayas. Long ball. Way out was Zaroon to deal with that. Finn McRobb came up through Celtic FC's academy in Glasgow, where he's from. Played college soccer here in the U.S. at High Point University. Here is McRobb continuing his run. It is a throw as he clattered into a defender. Britton Fisher. These are still important minutes, by the way. Maybe 4-1. The game appears to have been decided. But for everybody on the pitch, these are still important minutes to show well. Every minute you're on the pitch. Still critical to each of these individual players. Free kick for SKC. It's easy as a casual fan to watch a game like this at a juncture like this, 4-1 in the 84th minute, and say, all right, well, the game's over. It's all academic now. Well, not for the players that are on the pitch, especially all these guys that have just come on recently. They're getting an opportunity late in this game to show what they can do. If you're an academy player, if you're on a professional contract, whatever your situation, you are always being evaluated. You are always in with an opportunity to show people what you're capable of. Open eyes, or continue to reinforce people's good opinions of you as a player. You want to take every chance you can, and here comes Brandon Munson galloping down the left, trying to surge to the end line. He's able to slide and keep it in play, but committed the foul, and takes a card, or yeah, he was called for the foul. For a moment, it looked like the Minnesota United player was being shown the card, which was confusing. But it is Munson who goes into the book. We're into the final 5 of the 90. Ethan Bryant with a little two-handed push in the back. You see the confirmation of the card to Munson. There goes Finn McRobb. McRobb using that big frame. Into the box he goes. Finn McRobb dragging it to the end line. Touch was just a bit too heavy, and that allowed Pulskamp to come out and smother. Finn McRobb looking dangerous, though, since he came on. MNUFC 2's wing players really exciting in this game. First it was Darius Randall for the first hour or so. Defending certainly needs to be better for the Loons. They will be the first to acknowledge that, but they're going to be a fun team to watch as they find more rhythm this season. Arias, McRobb. Arias again. Britton Fisher. I haven't seen too many of these extended sequences of possession for MNUFC. A lot of times they've created their attacks and their chances from turnovers that they've generated high up the pitch. And that is a feature of their high pressing system, of course. SKC 2 dropping back a bit with this 3-goal lead late, daring the Loons to break them down. Both sides claiming this throw. SKC will get it. Went through a few of the scores from around MLS at the first team level yesterday. We talked a bit about this last week. Those new rules implemented in MLS after being trialed here in MLS Next Pro. Those began last week. The off-field treatment rule and the time substitution rule, both contributing to reducing gamesmanship and match delays, while increasing effective match time. In other words, increasing the amount of time the ball's actually in play. Those have been really successful experiments at the Next Pro level that have now been implemented in MLS, debuting last week. This is long down the middle. Again, good effort from Brandon Munson. He does earn a free kick this time. So that off-field treatment rule, if a player is down for more than 15 seconds for a potential injury, he may be required to come off the pitch for a couple minutes. And the substitution rule, if a player being substituted out of the match has to leave the field in 10 seconds or less. If not, the incoming player has to wait 60 seconds before entering the match. Going to play an additional 3 minutes at the end of this game. Prior to implementing that off-field treatment rule, though, as this is offside, the flag is raised. There were 6 instances of stoppage per match of 15 or more seconds prior to that rule being implemented in MLS Next Pro. Just over 1 per match under that rule in 2023. So it cut down on those long injury delays about 5-fold. So that is quite a successful experiment, and that's why it's been implemented at the MLS level. Last year in MLS Next Pro, nearly every substitution, meanwhile, was completed in less than the allowed 10 seconds. 99.7% of all substitutions in 2023 completed in 10 seconds or less. So another very successful trial of that rule, now in place at the highest level. We're into those 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this second half, with SKC cruising to victory here at home. Minnesota United still hoping to grab a goal back before the end. It's tackled back by Britton Fisher. Brings Derek Dodson into the play. His cross. Stay in play by the corner flag. Heckenleibel. Now Heckenleibel again. Good run by the end line. Heckenleibel pulls it back and comes to Dodson, and it's cleared off the line. I think the goalkeeper, Pulskamp, would have had it anyhow. Dodson probably didn't get a hold of it the way he would have liked. 2 minutes to play. Good run by Heckenleibel again, though, getting himself to the end line, creating danger. Dodson. Musanvi. Great effort from Musanvi today. Hasn't scored, been denied twice by Pulskamp. And he has never quit, never stopped running. Here goes Habibullah, playing a teammate right down the middle. The flag is up. Ryan Reed offside. 90 seconds to go. One more attack at least for the Loons. That ball easily mopped up by the SKC back line. Free kick with a minute to play. Sporting Kansas City with 2 goals in the opening 19 minutes. 2 goals here in the second half after they'd been pegged back to 2-1 very early in half number 2. Turns into a comfortable one in the end for SKC. Was not for most of the first half and the first 15 minutes or so of the second. Pulskamp has played a big role in this victory, especially with his saves in the first half. And this game could have gone very differently. Late throw for SKC. They won't be in a hurry to take it as the seconds melt away. That might just about do it. Wes Cowett will check his watch momentarily. And there is the final whistle. And Benny Feilhaber's side put on the Jets again as Cameron Habibullah's hat trick helps Sporting KC to all 3 points this afternoon at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas. It finishes SKC 2-4, MNUFC 1. Our man of the match this evening, unsurprisingly, we'll give you 3 guesses. You only one. Cameron Habibullah, the Adidas man of the match. The hat trick with goals in the 2nd, 20th, and 76th minutes. As he only needed 20 minutes to score his first 2, came really close to his 3rd on multiple occasions before he was slid in here. And what a good finish this is. So Cameron Habibullah, your man of the match, presented by Adidas. It was 1-1 otherwise between all the other players on the pitch today. Cameron Habibullah grabbing 3. He's up to 7 and takes over the lead for now in the Golden Boot race in MLS Next Pro. Hope you enjoyed it today. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Donnie Barnes. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Good night from Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence, Kansas, where it finishes today. Sporting KC 2-4, MNUFC 2-1.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.